I wore a hat for a whole year, one whole 365. The weight that will be lifted off of your shoulder once you just let it go will be tremendous for you. I didn't want to be that guy that was holding on for dear life. So I was just like, man, let's do it. I call myself the Grim Reaper of hairlines. And then the fun really begins.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Baldie Diaries. Today I'm sitting down with Dai Nixon, podcaster, creative, and a voice who knows what it means to let go of hair and step into a new kind of confidence. First, welcome to the Baldie Diaries, and thank you so much for being here. I want to start in the beginning. You spoke about your coach telling you to let it go. Do you remember the very first time you shaved it off? And what was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I remember it. It was very cold behind my ears the very first time I did it. That was the first thing I remember. I'm like I never felt that much wind and aerodynamics just going right here, like the back of my ear, my temple. Everything was just like cold. What is this? The medulla oblongata? Like everything was just so cold. And that was the first thing I remember. But I was just like, I probably could have held on for another 6 to 12 months, but I didn't want to be that guy that was holding on for dear life. And my stepdad, he was my barber. So I was just like, man, let's do it. Plus, it was my 23rd birthday. So I kind of felt like I had like a good little excuse to use. I'd be like, Jordan year, Jordan look. So yeah, it was different because before that, I've always saw myself with hair. For 23, well, I remember being 5, so 17, 18 years before that, and then to just seeing all scalp, it was different. It's kind of like a shock, if you would. But I remember just how cold my head and the back of my ears were.
Yeah, no, so we don't talk about that enough at all because it is so cold. Like just the shift in temperature, and then it's just like you are exposed fully. But also, you said your stepdad was your barber, and you could have held on, but you didn't. Why? Why not? Like, if you would have held on,
Because I just didn't want to. I mean, I've always been someone that's big on living my true self. That's why I rock the body to this day. I never even considered getting any type of transplant or anything like that. So I was just like, man, let's just do it. I just felt like me trying to hold on and that anxiety that comes from holding on, I felt like that anxiety would have been greater than just letting it go and being worried about being bald. So I was just like, let's just go that route. It's less pressure. I don't have to hide. You know what I mean? Like you see it, guys that hold on for dear life. They're constantly, they never take the hat off, which, I didn't when I first shaved it, which we may get into. But, you can tell when someone is holding on for dear life when it comes to their hair. And I just didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to give off that energy. So I was like, man, let's just do it. I really didn't think twice when it got to that point. Like you said, after my coach told me to let it go, and like just the feeling I would get like of worrying if people behind me were seeing my bald spot, it was just too much. So I was like, let's just, I want to be free. Let's get me free.
Yeah. Okay. So I love that too, though, because it is like the anxiety of holding on to it. And then also always wondering, can people see, like, was it still scary though? Like, were you nervous?
When I first shaved? Oh yeah. Again, because it's so different. And I was a little smaller at the time. I was probably about, I don't know, 10, 12 pounds lighter than I am now. So I was a little bit more frail. And I've always heard growing up I had a big head. So I'm like, okay, I'm on the slim side. I got a big head and I'm shaving it, so it's gonna stick out even more. So I was definitely self-conscious when I first shaved it. In fact, I wore a hat for a whole year, one whole 365, because I just I didn't think that I don't know, it was different. It was different. And I had, here's the thing. Here's what really messed it up for me, because I had good ass hair. And I just didn't have confidence in it at first. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't. But that built over time. So,
Mhm.
once the confidence built in, I was like, okay, forget it. And I tossed the hat. But I was under the hat for a whole year. And
Mhm.
but I actually worked at Foot Locker at the time. So when I first
Okay.
shaved, I worked at Foot Locker. I shaved it and then I got a job at Foot Locker. And I was on the
Okay.
floor. I was a sales rep. And I always tell people that was the best job I ever had. Not money
Yeah.
reasons, but as far as like communicative reasons, confidence reasons,
Mhm.
sales persuasive
Right.
skills. Like I
Yeah.
picked up so many communicative and interpersonal skills working at Foot Locker that you can't get just, you can't just wake up and get. So being at Foot Locker and, being bald and I can't wear a hat to work and I
Right.
have to approach people like nonstop, that
Mhm.
helped. It really helped me get confident with it, just walking around freely and
Mhm.
just communicating and talking to people, being bald. That played a big part in building my confidence too. So shout out to
Yeah.
Foot Locker at Columbia Mall in Columbia,
Yes,
Maryland.
shout out to Foot Locker for real. But also, I want to talk a little bit more about this 365 days of you wearing a hat and what that did for you. Like, tell me more about that experience as a whole.
All right, so it was like a neutral feeling because I had the hat on. I didn't feel like I was like hiding it that much because even before that, I've always wore hats. But like, like I would take it off sometimes. It was really like people that like I knew or that knew me and I grew up with. I was a little bit, or I knew from college or whatever. I was a little bit more hesitant to take it off around them.
Mm.
My closest friends, they were the first ones, of course, that I kind of, took it off around. But other than that, I tried to keep it on as much as possible. And but it wasn't like if I had to take it off that I wouldn't. I would take it
Mhm.
off sometimes still, but for the majority of the time that I was out, I had the hat on. Whether it
Yeah.
was a fitted or the beanie that I would roll up, like, I had it on a lot.
Mhm.
So it was like neutral. I don't think I had like anxiety wearing it. I just wasn't fully confident rocking the baldy. So it's not like it would have been way worse if I was trying to hide a bald spot. Like if
Yeah.
I had hair and was trying to brush over the spot, which I was doing.
Mhm.
Um, so if I was doing that, it would have been way worse. So it was
Yeah.
like it was in the middle. I wasn't too anxious or too like, like down and that from wearing the hat, but it was still uncomfortable. So it was like I was slowly revealing it to the world. That's what the
Mhm.
hat helped do.
So it
Because
was like
again,
a
if I had to take it off, I would, but for the
mhm.
most part, I kept it on. So it was like just
Mm.
helping me slowly, come to terms with it and bring it out.
Yeah. And there's so many things that you can do, right? Like you can try to brush over it and now there's sprays and things like that, but you chose to take your time and transition slowly and now getting back to Foot Locker and not being able to wear a hat and being in a place
Yeah.
where you did kind of have to come to terms with who you were and are. Do you feel like you would have changed anything about that experience?
Nah, I needed it. Cause I mean, I've always been confident in myself as a person.
Mhm.
Uh, but since it was just so new, I think it was like more shocking to me as well as
Mm.
like the people. But
Yeah.
no, I needed it because I think some people could kind of sense that I was in that space, and it was like the random. I'm gonna just be frank. It was the random grown women that would compliment, like, and I'm like, oh wait, this is okay, this is a thing. Like women
Mhm.
actually like a bald head, and then my beard wasn't where it's at now. It was a little bit more frail, but it was enough.
Mhm.
It was enough to, it was like the shy glizzy, like the early shy glizzy
Yeah.
days where like it
Mhm.
stopped back
Like it
there.
was mhm.
Yeah, so I had that, but once like the women started coming around and complimenting it, and
Yeah.
that's when it changed the game. But I mean, I think it made it that much better that I had the hat on and was a little bit, hesitant on it. And people that kind of peeped that, and then like the women would give me compliments. I think that kind of made it
Mm.
feel even better because I'm like
Yeah.
down, a little bit down, like But then they'd be like,
Mhm.
nah. I'd be like, oh, all right. It made that good feeling,
Yes. Yeah.
times two. So nah,
Mhm.
I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't change it. If I would have done anything, honestly,
Hmm.
I think I would have shaved my head at 22 because my senior year at Bowie State, where I played football at, I had like anxiety there because I was it was noticeable my senior year.
Yeah.
Junior year, not as much so, but I was in a relationship at the time. I think that kind of boosted it up, if you ask me.
Mhm.
But
Mm.
Yeah, like my senior year, that's when it was like, okay, this shit don't look good. And
Mhm.
it kind of, took away a little bit of my confidence, like just, that year in general. I think if I would have shaved it that year, I think I would have
Mm.
felt much better.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, actually, even
Um,
before, let's start like 22-year-old day. What would you say?
yeah, I would have told myself, you may think that like if you go bald that, you'll feel a little weird, but I promise you, if you do it, the woman is going to love you. You're going to feel way better about yourself.
Mhm.
And just shave it and get a bad joint on your arm. Like, what can anyone say? You know what I mean? Like, if
Mhm.
like what can anyone say? That might persuade the next person that's losing their hair to be like, dang, okay, that's what it brings. You know what? Forget it. All right, let me go ahead and shave it too. So I would have just told
Mhm.
myself, man, like you would have been way less anxious if you just shave it now. You
Yeah.
think it's going to be the opposite. You think if you shave now, have anxiety and
Mhm.
low self-esteem with it. But I'm telling you, if you just do it now at 22, then you'll feel way, way better than if you try to hold on for dear life. Cause
Yeah.
it was nasty. I had the bird's nest joint, I had the George Jefferson. So I was like, man, just get rid of it. Just get rid of it.
Mm.
You'll feel much better.
Interesting. Okay, so you just would have let it go. And I hear this theme of maybe validation might not be the right word, but receiving validation from women and also like other things around you, right? And I'm wondering, jumping a little bit more ahead, you've got this new
Mhm.
look, and then now you're looking in the mirror and it's kind of a different conversation. What did you see for your reflection? How did you get validation from within yourself?
I think just really coming to terms with it and just going everywhere out in the public with it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, it really plays a big part because, I mean, we're human beings, so receiving validation, praise, compliments from other people, especially like if you're a heterosexual man, receiving that from a woman, especially women that you find attractive
Mm-hmm.
and women that are older than you know what I mean? Like that was just it really like played a big part on me just like looking at it and be like, it's really not that bad. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like it's really not like and then I'm like, okay, your head is a little bit big, but it's you really don't like that was another thing. Like so many people telling me I had like the perfect head for a bald head, which I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think at first. Before I
Right.
shaved it, I was
Yeah.
like, yo, my head big as hell. Like it ain't gonna work. But the people saying, oh, you have a perfect head for a bald head. I'm like,
Mhm.
dag, imagine if I didn't. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you're blessed. Like, okay, you're losing your hair, but at least you have a good head for it. Imagine people that don't have it, you know what I mean? And what they may have to go through. So I was like, all right, let's, let's rock out. And that helped me look at myself in the mirror more and more like, yo, this actually looks good. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I've always worked out, but then I started, putting on a little bit more weight
Mhm.
and that helped out even more. And it just like when I every time I would look at myself more and more, I'm like, dang, this really is a good look. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
I had good hair. I had really good hair, but my kids, God forbid, knock on wood, they say it comes from the mom's dad. So I gotta vet whoever I have a child with. I gotta
Mhm.
see her dad, make sure he
Yeah.
got hair. Because if they at
Mhm.
least get my hair, then they'll be good. All right, I'll,
Mhm.
I'll just pass it down to the kids. I had it for 22 years. It was a hell of a run, but it is what it is. And that's another thing. Like it happened at 23. Some people
Mhm.
have to go through it in their 30s. You
Yeah.
know what I mean, or
That's very true.
40s, and
Mhm.
that's even more time of having it. So which makes it even more difficult to like come to terms of letting it go. And
Mhm.
I see it. I see people in their 30s and 40s and they have a really hard time letting it go. So I'm like, man,
They do,
I
yeah.
got it out the way. Like I kind of told myself, you got it out the way. Like
Mhm.
what can anyone say? Like you got it out the way early and
Yeah.
even, persuaded other people to, shave their head. Cause there's a lot of
Mhm.
people that go through it, man. There's a lot of people to this day that still have not let go of that hat.
Mhm.
So, I really tried to like really take pride in it. And I think taking
Mhm.
pride helped me, feel even better as well. Cause like, okay, you taking pride, you taking a stand for something that people going through. Maybe
Mhm.
that can, lead them to kind of saying, all right, it's not that bad. He's doing it. He's, out here making moves with the Baldie. Let me go ahead and get the Baldie too.
Yeah. Hmm. That was a
Can I
really good
ask you
answer.
something?
Yes.
I know this is, you're the interviewer, I'm the interviewee, but for the
Mhm.
sake of, I don't know if you spoke about it on other episodes, but this for the
Mhm.
sake of me,
Yeah.
generally curious and wanting to know what was it like when did you first come to terms and what was that like when you first came to terms?
When did I come to terms? Hmm. I am still coming to terms.
Okay.
I just stopped wearing a wig. This is my first year would be in May, and so it is a journey for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Getting used to
Yeah.
it because of course I have alopecia, so like sometimes I have areata, so it's spotty. So sometimes like I will get hair patches, and sometimes I will lose those patches. So it's kind of like grief and also like building my confidence with like shaving it basically almost every day
Yeah.
and like getting to that state. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's something.
Yeah. It's maintenance behind it. I don't think a
Hmm.
lot of people realize the maintenance of
Yeah.
upkeeping a
Hmm.
healthy bald
Hmm.
head is definitely maintenance. It's a science behind
100%.
it.
Yes, there
But
is.
congratulations. You said it's been
Oh,
in May. That's when it's
mhm,
been 1
mhm.
year.
Yep. Hmm. Yeah.
Congratulations. Do you
Thank you.
feel where would you rate your confidence level now as opposed to when you first started wearing wigs a little over a year ago?
Um, Honestly, I would say I am similar to you in the way that like confidence is something that I kind of embody. Like I don't feel that people can really see that I'm, you know, not
Yeah.
necessarily struggling, but still trying to gain it. So
Right.
I would say like my confidence level is definitely on average like an 8, I'll say.
Good.
But I think building it by myself or who I am,
Mhm.
I'll say it's like a 7, 6, 6.5, 7.
Good.
Mhm.
Good. And it looks good
Yeah.
on you.
Thank you. I
Like
appreciate
it
that.
look it does look good on you. Like how people said like I like it fits me. It definitely fits you as well.
Hmm.
I was actually with a female friend earlier and I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing a podcast later." And I told her what
Hmm.
it was about and I showed her your page and I showed her your brand page
Hmm.
and I think she clicked on your profile, your personal profile and
Hmm.
your profile picture is you with the wig on.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, she looks way better without the wig." Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely like I hear that more often than I hear like, oh, you should wear wigs. Well, actually nobody's ever actually said that. But
Yeah.
I think learning that it's okay to not have the wig or like not necessarily fit the status quo has been the biggest learning experience
Yeah.
for me because like it is different. And although it fits, it's still like having to feel that for yourself as
Yeah.
well. So, but also it's been a really long time. Like I started losing my hair when I was 14. So it's
Okay.
been a while. And
Mhm.
now like I always wore a headband, like something like that. And that was like my safety net. And so
Yeah.
same thing for you in a way is like that hat was just kind of just a way to feel comfortable and fit the status quo in a way. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'll say this, like I said, and I agree with what she said as far as like, yeah, you look better without the wig. Like the bald head
Mhm.
definitely fits you. It's and I kind of joke with this, like with myself, like we're very diverse. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
can get different looks out of us. So you can go with
Exactly.
or without the wig. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I can go head, I can go the beanie. And if I
Yep.
throw glasses on, I can throw like the Marvin Gaye look. And then
Mhm.
the guy from CNN, the bald head
Mhm.
dude with the glasses
Yep,
from
with the
CNN,
glass.
I
Mhm.
forgot his yeah,
Mhm.
I
I
can
know who
get
you're
that
talking about.
look if I go bald head with the glasses. Like I get
Mhm.
like 4 or 5 different looks with this, and you can do the same with
Yeah.
the wig. So we got
Right.
diversity.
Exactly. I could be anybody really at any point in time,
Yeah.
especially like in it's freeing also, but
Yeah.
still, a
Yeah.
process for sure.
Yeah. People with hair
Yeah.
can't do that. They
No,
not on
they
our
can't
level.
do that. No, they can't do that. And it's a longer process. No, but I do know wigs are a little bit more uncomfortable. So
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
and expensive. So over
Ah.
time, I was just I was done with that.
Yeah.
It was like, no,
Yeah.
that's enough. And
Yeah. I want to know nothing about that.
yeah, yeah. But nonetheless, do you have alopecia? I didn't even ask, but do you
I don't
just have?
know. I just think like because my brother, my older brother, he went bald at like 19. Like his shit was
Mhm.
bad. Can I curse on him? My bad.
Yes,
Is
yeah.
that right? All right.
Congrats.
I'm not gonna go crazy with it. That was,
Mhm.
but
No.
my brother, he was 19.
Mhm.
So I was like, dang, I don't think. But in high school, my hairline very, very slightly
Mhm.
started creeping up. And I was like, damn. And
Mm.
like I said, my stepdad, he's been cutting my hair since I was about maybe like 10. I'm in high school. He's like, yeah, your joint, getting pushed back slightly. You might. So I was like,
Mhm.
all right. So I'm gonna just do what
Mm.
I do. So it was, slowly creeping back. And my forehead was already big. So it was just making it bigger and it was
Mhm.
noticeable. Uh so
Hmm.
I was like, all right. It's typically what it does as well sometimes. So
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
You just said something, and I'm jumping, but you just said like your hairline started pushing back and your forehead got bigger, and I know that that is something that like a lot of men do experience where hairline starts going back a little bit. How was that for you? Like, were you like, I'm gonna keep going? Were you more on the shaving end? Like, because that was a little earlier.
Yeah, this was like high school. I think it was like
Mhm.
junior, senior year, maybe. Like it was very slight, like no one could notice. But I
Mhm.
actually think someone did notice once, and I was like, oh damn,
I
like
think so.
you know what I mean? Like I think someone did notice.
Mhm.
Uh, but I think I was like kind of denial as far as like how like one day I'm gonna actually have to shave my head. Like that just
Mm.
never like I just never fathomed that. I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, my hairline's slightly going back, but it's still clean. Like it's not
Mhm.
bad and it's barely going back. But once it like started going back, then once like the bird's nest started,
Yeah.
that's when it was like, all right, well, let's just keep rocking out. I wanted to rock out as long as possible.
Mhm.
But like I said in the beginning, it got to a point where trying to rock out, it would have just been worse off trying to like keep hiding it. So I was just like, let's get
Yeah.
rid of it. And
Mhm.
I would have like once the bird's nest came, I would have anxiety of people behind me. Like if I sat down, like I was in church once and I was sweating bullets because it was people behind me.
Mm.
And then I had one moment that also was like, all right, I was taking team photos my senior year for football. We was taking team
Mhm.
photos and I was a senior and I had number 5, so I had to sit in the front.
Yeah.
And I had a bush, but like it's not gonna, and the sun was
Right.
out. So it's
Mm.
just the sun is just
It's
on
hot.
me. I
Yeah.
feel it baking me. And
Mhm.
I just felt like everyone was just staring at my bald
Yeah.
spot and, laughing
Yeah.
and everything. So I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. But I was
Yeah.
denial at first. I really thought like it just would not happen.
Mhm.
But as it got worse and worse, it
Okay.
kind of hits you more and more over time. Yeah, that like,
Mhm.
okay, this is really gonna have to happen one day. But
Right.
you just never really truly think that one day is gonna come until it
Mhm.
does.
E exactly, and then you're in it, and now you can't do
Yeah.
anything about it really, and so having your stepdad, did that help when
Oh
he
yeah.
was
Him being honest and telling me out the gate definitely helped because it wasn't a shock when other people would notice it and say
Mhm.
stuff. Because I've been
Mhm.
hearing it since it first started. Before it was bad enough for people to even notice, I was hearing
Yeah.
it. So, and I've been hearing it for years. Every time I get a cut, and we would even like crack jokes, like like that helped me a lot too. Like we crack
Mhm.
jokes about it. It was like, man, you better step your hat game up, start collecting hats now. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
jokes like that actually did help, as opposed to like if I just went to like a random barber that he would look at my head while cutting my head and just be shaking his head like, damn, he's about to be done for, but not actually
Mhm.
say nothing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So by the time when you're out and about and you hear comments like that, it kind of, you're not prepared for it. Now
Right.
him letting me know out the gate and cracking jokes on it, that helped tremendously.
Mhm.
Tremendously.
Yeah. Okay, so it's different for me. I could speak for me as a
Mhm.
woman. I would
Yeah.
have been hurt by that. I would what are you we're joking about it like I'm going through something.
Yeah.
And so it just seems like it's just a different mentality as a whole for you. Like,
So how would you prefer to like okay, it's first happening. How would you first to prefer to like go about hearing that it's happening? Would you rather it be from someone random? Would you rather it be on more a one-on-one serious talk or a kind of joking matter? Like which method in general like do you prefer as far as hearing that
mhm,
news in the beginning stage?
yeah. Well, the way it happened for me was my mom was washing my hair in the sink and like a big clump just fell out.
Mhm.
And she was like, "A clump of your hair just fell out." And I was like, oh, okay. And I thought she was joking. She wasn't. And
Mm,
so like it was just very, and my mom is very direct. Like she's not a beat around the bush type of person. So I think when I did, if I were to hear that news again, I think I would want to hear it exactly like that. Like just a very direct, okay, this is what's happening. And it is like that denial phase and
yeah.
getting more comfortable as time goes on. And then you see more and more. But yeah, I think I would have just wanted to hear it. And then I probably would have gone about it the same way.
Yeah. And some
Mhm.
people just never let go of that denial, even if you do keep it straight up with them. So I
Mhm.
think, like if you do it so many times, you're like, all right. And I say that because I think of my cousin who's pretty much like my brother. We're 10 days apart and we grew up
Mhm.
together. He went
Mhm.
through the same thing. And my stepdad, used to cut his hair as well. And I mean, you talk about hold on for dear life. And I always tell him like, "Yo, just shave it." He's like, "Nah,
Mhm.
bro, you got a beard. It's gonna look weird on me." I'm like, "I thought the same thing. Just
Yeah.
shave it. I'm telling you." But he
Mhm.
never let it go. And now that was funny. I use
Yeah.
because again, I was there, so I can
Mhm.
laugh at it now. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Mhm.
At least for men.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like my
Hindsight.
stepdad would try to tell him, and he would not want to hear it. Like
Mhm.
he'd be like, "Nah, I'm good. I got a little bit more time." And my stepdad, like, he would tell him straight up, like how he told me, like,
Mhm.
bruh, like, yo, you guys, like, nah, I'm good. I might hook it up with a little bit of the spray. I'm good, yo. No, no.
Mhm. Yeah. And so, I mean, do
It got to
you
the point where my stepdad was just like, all right, bro, I'm not gonna tell you no more. You know what it
right.
is.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they don't wanna hear it, and it's if they don't hear it after, like, 3, 4 times, I mean, how much more can you say? It's
Yeah.
hold on to it if you want to. Do you think that
Seriously.
you would have I don't know, because if you had the chance, do you think that you would have held on and covered it up?
I really think I would have been better off shaving it a year before.
Mhm.
Some people would have let I played football, that's like a, manly sport. We crack jokes on each other. They would have cracked jokes on me, but I would have been able to laugh with them jokes. Like
Mhm.
the jokes, like they were subtle as far as like when I was losing it, like
Yeah.
they weren't really like direct with the jokes. And even if they were, I would not have been able to laugh at it like that. And I think they knew I was kind of like, like a little bit embarrassed by it. That's why they weren't like, out like laughing,
Mhm.
trying to laugh with me about it.
Yeah.
And I could like maybe feel or hear people. It was very low. They weren't trying to be disrespectful because they know that's like a like a big
Mhm.
deal. I think I would have shaved it. I would have been able to laugh with them, and that would have actually helped me, with my confidence because those are my bros. I mean,
Mhm.
they not, what I'm saying, like they're not gonna not want to be around me or nothing like that. It would have
Mhm.
just been okay. He's the bald one in the group, and it's
Mhm.
actually ironic because at Bowie State I did my last 2 years there. I transferred from a JUCO, but even in high school, like people have always said, I've had a older soul
Mhm.
because my grandparents raised me for a majority of
Mhm.
my childhood and teenage life, and my
Mhm.
grandfather had a big part in that. So
Yeah.
I took a lot of his characteristics, if you would. So I've always
Mhm.
had an old soul. So they actually
Mhm.
called me like Pop Nixon sometimes on the team. Like my last name is Nixon. They would call me
Mhm.
Pop Nixon. Like I was like the old soul. Even though I wasn't the
Yeah.
oldest age-wise, I was that
Mhm.
old guy on the team. They always called me granddad and Pop. So
Mhm.
it would have fit even better. So I really think I would have been better off shaving it earlier. Again,
Mhm.
like I said, I have no regrets. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
I think I would have been way more confident if I were to have just shaven my head as
Mhm.
soon as I saw it like kind of get a little bad. But I tried to hold on. Like I said, I had good hair, so I wanted to,
Yeah.
at least
It
experience the good. And I had long hair, so I wanted to experience it for as long as possible. But
mhm.
nah,
Mhm.
I would not have tried to hold on any
Definitely.
longer.
Yeah.
Ah.
This might be a big question, but why do you
Mhm.
think men do hold on? Why is it yeah, or do
I
you?
think for two reasons. I think for one, pride.
Mhm.
And I think the pride kind of goes into the second reason because it's the unknown. Nobody likes change because change is different,
Mhm.
So it's like, man. And then out after the 90s, like it was kind of like made fun of to have a bald head. In the 90s, it was embraced. People with hair would deliberately shave their head.
Yep.
So how did we get from that to it like be like a funny thing that people poked at and made fun of?
Mm.
So I think that has a big part of it. If
Yeah.
it was the vibe that was in the 90s, then more people would be fine with shaving their head because it
Mhm.
was accepted then. DMX, Onyx,
Mhm. Yeah.
Tupac. Tupac was real big, you know what I
Yes.
mean? So
Mhm.
once we got away from that vibe, and I still don't know how it happened, but once we got away from that and it became more of a joke, like a funny
Mhm.
thing to have a bald head, that really made people reluctant from actually
Yeah.
shaving it. But it's a pride thing for a
Yeah.
man, and I think like it's a sign of you're getting old,
Mhm.
and that's why I'm happy it happened in my 20s because you'll see it men in their 30s and 40s.
Right.
They see their hair going away and they're like, oh damn, I'm getting old, and that
Mhm.
pride thing kind of eats at their ego as a man,
Mhm.
and they don't really want to come to terms with that because it's like showing getting old and
Right.
weakness. It's not showing anything positive, if you
Mhm.
would, to a
Right.
man.
Right.
So I think that's a big part as to why
Mhm.
like a lot of men try to hold on, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh man, I'm gonna look funny bald. Because
Mhm.
like I said, I know dudes that started, I'm 30 now. I know dudes that started going bald 8 years ago, 7 years ago when I did, and I still haven't seen them without their hat.
Mm.
So it's tough, for men, but I
Yeah.
really try to encourage all dudes to just do it, especially
Mhm.
if you have a lady already. Like I know a few friends that have shaven their head, and it's a dope thing also, like to be like the representative of
Yeah.
bald heads because I did it so
Mhm.
early. Like anytime someone I know shaves their head, I'm the first person they tell, and
Hmm.
that's a really good feeling.
Yeah.
I call myself the Grim Reaper of hairlines. So like
Okay.
if I see somebody with a hairline that's going away, I'll tell them because
Mhm.
that's what I needed, and they may not have. But I'm getting carried away.
But
I
no,
say all
but
that to say, yeah,
what
it
what
is a
does
good feeling.
yeah, what does that conversation go like? If you see someone's hair, you
I
know
tell them exactly how much longer they have. That's why I'm the Grim Reaper of hairlines. I look at it, be like, you probably got another 8 months, and I'll be on point too. I'll be on point. Shout out to my homie Lionel from Larry and Lionel. I was on their show last November
Mhm.
2024. And yeah, like I took my hat off. We were talking about that because they're both, kind of going through the edges.
Mhm.
And the homie Lionel, he was like, man, I'm like, you probably got about another 6 months. And then a couple months later, he shaved his head. I was like, good for
Wow.
you. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it fits him. And I got another homie that I used to work with, but we go to the same gym still.
Mhm.
And I saw him one day walking in the gym when I'm leaving. He's like, bruh, he had a hat on. He's like, bruh, I got to tell you something big. I was like, what's up? He took his hat off. You know what I'm saying? Clean
Mhm.
shave. I was like, man, I
Wow.
dapped him up. I embraced him. I was like,
Yeah.
man, welcome, bro. Welcome home.
Yes.
Welcome home, brother. And he said a big thing that helped him because he has a woman
Mhm.
and like she like loved it.
Yeah.
Like that really like helps a lot. Like if you have a woman at the time and you shave it, or a partner at the time and you shave it and they really like it, that helps
Mhm.
out a lot. Or if it's on the
Mhm.
other end where you're just out and about and people that you're attracted to tell you how much it looks good on you, like
Right.
that's a big deal. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just encourage dudes to just let it go if need
Just
be, man. That was some of the best news I heard.
wow. The Grim Reaper.
The
Yeah.
Grim Reaper of hairlines.
Mhm. I
Yeah,
there's power in that for sure.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, it
I'm
seems like you're the what
I'm sorry.
representative.
I'm writing down. I might have to like start like a little segment of that, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
trademark it too by the time this comes out. So if
No.
anybody gets any bright ideas,
For sure, because that is yeah, you can do some stuff with that. I
yeah.
love that. But yeah, just the representative Baldy is, just like having people come to you and be like, hey, do you think this is a good idea? Like that is so powerful. And also it shows that you're an inspiration. Like, do you believe that there's a reason that this happened?
Yeah, I think that plays into it. Like I said, because there's so many people that around my age that went through it, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, somebody has to be someone who like just fully embraces the bald head, because there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of men losing their hair, and like someone has to be the guy that's like, okay, I'm gonna just hit the ground running and just
Yeah.
be completely. And then I had a podcast at the time, so it's no hiding.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I'll take it. I never thought of it as far as like, was it a reason behind it? But I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah. So, like, has it been the same experience for you as far as people, whether they're dealing with it or fully come to terms and shave their head? Like, do they come to you and, you know?
Uh, Not really yet, but I
Okay.
think I'm lying. Actually, yes. It's
Yeah.
I think specifically in the alopecia community, like people do come and ask questions or just kind of have me as like a person to DM. And like I love that because I had so many questions and I had so many things that I wanted to know before even shaving my head, just like losing my hair. Like
Yeah.
what is going on? How do I navigate this? And so
Right.
yeah, for sure. I do think that there's a reason now. Did I love it?
Y-
No. But
Yeah.
do I like it now? Yes.
Yeah.
Just so
And
people
and
feel
it's
more comfortable.
and that's important because like my thing was like I like used to look at a lot of like Tupac videos and pictures because
Mhm.
people like Tupac was everything, and then women even today talk about how much they you
Yes,
know
yeah.
thought Tupac was fine and
Shout out
everything.
to
So I would used
Tupac,
to look at
yes.
yeah, I used to look at Tupac pictures and be like, okay, like like I would try to like be like, okay, I can if he was this confident with it, and
Right.
DMX as well. Tupac and
Mhm,
DMX were my and Common. Common was my biggest bald
mhm,
head idol.
mhm,
Because like people even today will say, "Oh, you look like Common." It's only because I'm like on the lighter side and have a beard and a bald head. We don't actually look
mhm.
like each other. But
Right.
when I first shaved it and people would say that, I used to like kind of like idolize Common as far as like
Mhm.
my bald head idol. Like
Yeah.
when first do it, like I think it's good to have somebody that you can kind of look at and like they kind of like show confidence with it, and that
Mhm.
helps you. So maybe
Yeah.
we, are that person. Well, not even maybe. We are that person,
Yes.
whether they tell us or not. We are that person for people out here
Mhm.
that's going through the same thing. So, I mean, listen, someone's got to be the hero, Angelique.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Someone's got to
sure.
do it.
And really
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here at this point. But yeah, common I didn't even really think about that, like having representation and something that I really have been struggling with is finding like men with either hair loss that are comfortable speaking about it. I've found so many baldy women pages and like things like that, but men in general just don't speak about it. So like
Mm,
representation, especially in people with bald heads. I'd never thought about like what that looks like. So DMX and Tupac and Common, yeah, are those people. But
yeah.
and have you seen, I guess, role models besides
So you
celebrities
said, have I seen role models
mhm,
besides?
mhm, that are like, well, normal people?
One that sticks out, I don't even know this guy, but one that really sticks out was my senior year for Bowie State. Like I said, I'm losing it and it's kind of bad at this point.
Mhm,
And we played Winston-Salem in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
mhm,
And after the game, it was a dude because I just like I can't like it's I just couldn't come to terms of being bald in college, which was stupid.
yeah.
But
But
anyway, after one of our games, it was a dude that played for Winston who was bald with a beard.
mhm,
And after the game, he's just chilling, like with his teammates chilling. And then like his lady comes up and she looked good. She was
mhm,
bad as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh wait, it's like because you don't see it, so I can't picture it just being a normal
right.
thing. I'm like, wait, like that's like why wouldn't it be just normal? Like to
Mhm,
just, you know what I mean? Like you in college playing football with your boys and have a bald head. You know
mhm.
what I mean? And that moment, like that was a big moment because like it hit me like, yo, like it's normal, like it's a regular thing,
It's
like
just a
that you
yeah.
can do, and
Mhm,
bruh's just chilling. Like he's not worried. He's not covering up his
right.
head. He's not worried about it.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying? So that was I don't even know, dude, but that was like a big like realization of
yeah.
like, yo, like why? Like it's a normal thing. Like
Hmm.
why are you tripping? You know?
Yeah. Hmm.
How about you?
I actually never saw anyone that wasn't like on Instagram and stuff until June that like had alopecia and like was going through the same thing as me. So, I mean, of course, Instagram and like finding people there, but seeing people with alopecia that embraced it and felt comfortable to just be out bald. I didn't really see
Yeah.
many women.
Was
So
this June of this year or last year when you first started wearing wigs?
June this year. So I went to the National Alopecia Conference, and that's where I saw
Okay.
like so many people that we're just embracing it. But I think for the longest time, which is actually one of the reasons I wanted to start this podcast, is because like I didn't see anyone who talked about it who looks like me, who like actually didn't have a choice about with it. And so like,
Yeah.
and maybe I wasn't looking in the right places. Like again, it's my first year, so like really everybody on my feed has hair,
Yeah.
and looking in the right places, the algorithm just never, they didn't know, so they didn't recommend it. So just things like that. But
Do
I
you
just
like would you have preferred to have seen like early on other women specifically with it as well, like in person?
yes, yeah. I think I would have been. I think it would have been easier for me to see people, kind of like the experience that you just explained. I would have preferred
Yeah.
for people to be around and like see that like, hey, this is normal. Like you can just, nobody is stressing, nobody is overwhelmed, the world did not
Right.
end, and you can be in
Right.
this place and like still be bald and people will accept you.
Yeah.
Did you find that people treated you differently or anything changed? Did the world end?
No. Which is like, bro, why didn't you do this way
Mm-hmm.
earlier?
Yeah.
No. Like I said, if anything, it made me look more grown. That's what a lot of people said, like in a
Mm-hmm.
good way. It made me look more grown because I, like I said, I had the beard, but like even
Mm-hmm.
now, like with my beard coming in even more, like honestly, I mean, I think I would look cool with hair. Maybe I don't know. It's been so long, I can't even. But like, I
Mm-hmm.
just really like, you know what I mean? Like really like the look. Like I think it's better on me. So I really think it was a
Yeah.
plus. But hell no, people didn't treat me any different. If anything, better maybe because like I said, like older women started
Mm-hmm.
approaching me and giving me compliments and stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
so nah, and that's the thing. We think like you said, the world isn't going to end. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we think like the state that we're in once we're losing it and trying to come with terms, we think we're gonna that anxiety or that pressure or that feeling is going to carry over once we shave it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, when I saw the dude, he wasn't trying to hide nothing. He chilling.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing. Nah, no
Mm-hmm.
one treated me different. Nobody clowned me for being. I mean, every here and there, like people made like friends and
Right.
stuff. They'll clown me for being bald, but I
Mm-hmm.
need that. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
just so I can laugh with it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
nah,
Yes.
no one treated me different, disrespected, nothing,
Mm-hmm.
man. Because at the end of the day, you still you.
Yeah.
Now, if I were, shave it and I'm all like depressed and anxiety because I'm bald, then I think that would have made me a target, an
Mm-hmm.
easy target for people to poke fun at. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you bald and confident, what can anybody say? Like,
Mm-hmm.
can you do what I'm doing? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
if like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you
Mm-hmm.
really got something to say about it, can you shake
Right.
your head
Are
and just
you?
go out like it's nothing?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
So
it's,
nah, it was no difference as far as the way people treated me.
yeah.
At least
And
negative. At least no negative.
right. Exactly. A lot more positivity coming towards it. And
Yeah.
also, it's kind of, I know for me, just being like, well, a woman like in day to day, I stick out, right? Like, you don't really see many people that
Right.
do have a bald head that are women and just like day to day life. So it's easier for people to like notice and say something rather than like
Mhm.
being in a position where I fit in, which is
Yeah.
different. It's different. But do you feel the same thing? I guess there are more men that are bald, but do you feel that you are more seen?
Yeah. As far as like it sticking out,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I think it does contribute to that, because it's like you said, it's different. When you
Mm-hmm.
see 100 black and white and silver cars and you see one red car, it's gonna stick out.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's up to me what I do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I stick out, but I'm someone that sticks out, but is well groomed, take care of myself, I work out so I'm fit, I dress, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I dress decent. So if I stick out and then use that to spark like the everything else on the back end, which is good, then that's
Mm-hmm.
good. Like that's good for me. That's good for
Yeah.
branding. That's good for attracting people, all types of stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
in a good way, yeah, I think it sticks out because I thoroughly like it and embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's good. Yeah,
I'm
because not everyone could
switching.
be, because not everyone could be confident with a bald
Mm-hmm.
head, and people like literally like envision that. So like if someone like sees us, we're just
Mhm.
chilling, thoroughly chilling, confident,
Yeah.
glowing, vibing with a bald head, and they like say to themselves, "Yo, I couldn't do that." But then they
Mhm.
see like you doing your thing, you feeling yourself, you confident. That's like confidence times 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's even more radiant as far
Mhm.
as being confident. So if you like really embrace it, it's kind of a cheat code.
It really is. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And it does, yeah, open up doors in different areas. So I'm jumping, but I wanted to talk about dating with while being bald. How has that been going for you? Because you said you're 30, so it's been what, 7 years?
Second, I'm 30, yeah, and I shaved it at 23.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yep.
I think it boosts. I
Hmm.
seriously think it boosts, and it gave me reason. I mean, I always worked out, but I was like, okay, I can't not be fit with a bald head.
Hmm.
Like that's going to look weird, and then have a beard on top of that. I just think that gives like the more mature, manly look, and I think that attracts women even more. Like just
Hmm.
naturally, like genetically, women are attracted to like that more like okay, he looks like he can hold me down and protect me a little bit more. And
Yeah.
when you envision a man, you envision a big guy with beard and muscles or whatever. So I think it actually helped. I think it continues to help even still. Like
Hmm.
even if I have a rule. I try to even if like I meet a woman, I try to always have my body out. But if I go on my first date, I never wear a hat in any type of way on my first date.
Hmm.
'Cause, like, it's like I'm just letting you know what the full blown what it is.
Yep.
And, like, if
Okay.
I bag a woman with a hat on and then, like, we go out on our date or whatever, then I may even, like, try to FaceTime her before the date. So I just want it to be known, "Hey, I got a bald head."
Hmm.
But, like, I've never, like I go about that for a reason because 'cause I'm like, if she's not I've yet to meet someone who's just completely turned off about bald heads. But, like, if she is, cool.
Right.
I'm just giving you the opportunity to exit immediately
Hmm.
if that's not your thing. Like I
Yeah.
said, that's never been the case. Like, I've had women that didn't know I was bald, and then,
Hmm.
like, if once we link and they go out, they be like, "Oh, I didn't even know you was bald."
Hmm.
And they be like, "Oh, I like it," or it's you know what I'm saying? It's nothing like they not
Yeah.
leaving.
Hmm.
So I think it helps as
Hmm.
far as with dating, because
Yeah.
it's different, it stands out, and it forces you to, if you embrace it, to have a certain level of confidence.
Hmm.
And one thing I've experienced as far as with women, confidence is very important.
Yeah.
Like they feel that. Like
Hmm.
women, y'all can feel the confidence on a man, and
Right.
you don't want a guy that's not sure of himself. Because again, y'all naturally want a man that can provide and protect.
Hmm.
And I'm not just talking money. I'm just talking about
Right.
in
In
general in
general.
life.
Yeah.
So if you're dealing with a dude that's not confident in himself, like how can you have confidence in him holding someone else down?
Right.
So I think it's helped after all these years, if
Hmm.
if anything.
Yeah. No, and that's a great answer and very real. Like we do want confidence and like you can tell very easily. There's signs. And so I think for me in the same way, while I was not showing my hair, I always felt like I was catfishing in a way. Like if I wasn't telling someone I was bald,
Yeah.
but also it was none of their business. So there was like this little like thin line in between because like if I was comfortable and I felt safe enough to show them, then I would.
Mhm.
But that was very rare. I think I only showed like one person. And even
That
then,
that
like,
you were dating?
hmm, yeah. And
And
so,
h what was that timeline like as far as when you did show him, and what was the reaction from you and him? Not just
mhm,
him, but, like, for both of y'all.
yeah. So the timeline probably out, we were deep in. So like 9, 10 months probably where I was like, okay,
Okay.
sure. And for me, it was more of I couldn't hide it anymore. Like
Right.
I was just I was over it. Like you're at my house all the time. I just don't feel comfortable wearing a wig. Like I would be sleeping in wigs and just uncomfortable. And I think he responded, it was all about how I said it and I had practiced. I remember like I was locked in. Like I was like, okay, this is how I'm gonna say it. And this is,
Yeah.
like, and I just told him and he was like, okay, because like we had a foundation built already.
Right.
And yeah, I think like he was my friend first. And so it was like you still are who you are. But I would not tell anyone that I didn't feel safe enough to, but that was
Yeah.
also a very big indicator at the same time that like if I don't
Yeah.
feel safe enough to tell you I don't have hair, then, you know.
I'm glad. Well, it sounds like it worked out then, right?
Um, well, it worked out and that's yeah, but
Yeah, yeah. I'm not talking about like, like
right,
y'all
right, right.
like went on
Same sense.
happily ever after, but I'm
Mhm.
just saying like in that you said you rehearsed it like it was like a job interview. Can we get like a display of exactly like what you said to break the
Mhm.
news?
Yes, yeah. So I like it was kind of like Hannah Montana low key. Like I was just like, oh, like, do you mind if I take my wig off? And he was like, no, like that's fine. But like I would have like the same kind of wig. So I was like, okay, well, so I have something to tell you. And it's like I was like, yeah, I don't have hair and I haven't for a really long time, but I feel comfortable with you. And I thought like, maybe this is something you should know. And he was just like,
Yeah.
oh. And then I had a whole bunch of questions as, somebody was like, well, why didn't you tell me earlier? And I was just like, I just didn't feel comfortable. Like I'm still trying to understand it myself. And yeah. And then we just went on about our day. Like it was like nothing. Like actually the world did not end. Like I thought like he
Yeah.
would be like, oh, we're not gonna be together anymore. I can't believe you did this. None of that. Nothing. It was
Yeah, it's usually
nothing.
not as bad as we imagine it would be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we are like our own biggest critic, right? Like we are, yeah. It's
100%.
hmm so it's hard. Was there a moment when rejection hit harder because of baldness for you?
Nah. I think it was only one time maybe that a girl, I mean, we just kind of like just went on our separate ways.
Hmm.
But again, when I like first met her and bagged her, I had a hat on and shades. And when we
Hmm.
linked, the date was cool, whatever, but we just like kind of just like fell out. And
Hmm.
like because like it was what's the word I'm looking for? It was just building up something in my mind. I don't even think that was really the case, but at first I was like, dang, maybe she ain't feeling me because I'm bald. That was
Hmm.
the only time that's ever happened.
Hmm.
But outside of that, nah. Like I've never even like I mean, even if a chick did say like, "Oh, it's because," or it felt like, "Oh, it's because you're bald," that was never said to
Yeah.
me, so I
Hmm.
wouldn't know. And I've never like had like a instance where I was rejected of something for being bald.
Yeah.
Um, so I can't really answer that question because
Yeah.
I've
You haven't
I've
really.
never seen it.
Hmm.
Yeah, or
No,
I've never
but
seen or heard it.
from someone, yeah. But I think
Yeah,
that question that you did ask yourself is like a very universal experience, like especially like like is this because of this? Or really it
yeah,
could just be again us being our own biggest critic. But yeah.
yeah. I'm
Um
pretty sure that's what it was.
yes. So mental health wise, I know we spoke a little bit about anxiety, but have you felt anything mentally just impacted from in general really from losing your hair?
No. Confidence went up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it really just helped me realize it's not what's on you, it's what's in you, as cliche as that may sound. Cause like I said, I really liked my hair. Like I had good hair, whether it was waves or it was like long. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever it is that you think you need to, it's all about how you move, how you feel yourself in the world. Like that's
Yeah.
what's more important than anything.
Hmm.
And, like I said, I never lost out on opportunities because of it. I actually gained,
More.
like life really like started turning serious afterwards. If anything, it was at its worst when I was going through it and like the last like maybe like 6 months before I shaved. That's when it was worse as far as mental health. I was definitely, had anxiety with it,
Hmm.
not even gonna lie. But once I first shaved it, I didn't have anxiety. It was just new. It was just a little
Yeah.
scary because it was new. But
Hmm.
like the fact that I didn't have to try to cover up or hide, even though I did wear a hat, I wasn't trying to like cover up and comb my hair
Yeah.
a certain way to cover it up. Like just getting rid of that, like that really like put all that anxiety in the trash.
Hmm.
So That was the only time it impacted it. Afterwards, if it did impact it, it was all positive. Like I said, like it really helped with my confidence and self-esteem and everything. So really
Yeah.
just that period of like, okay, it's bad. That
Mm.
was like the only time where, if my mental health was affected in any way, that was it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
And we, like you said, spoke about that. Like, it's the change that's kind of the hardest part, but like transitioning into that
That's
um
it.
it's difficult. Now it's time for Scalp Confessions. Whoop.
All right.
So it's your time to be completely honest. No judgment, just truth. What's one thing about being bald that what's your confession?
So so
So
this was
your scalp
it's
confession.
scalp confession. And you said I can use something I went through.
Mm-hmm.
Scalp
Yeah.
confession. My scalp confession was oh man, it's one of those moments where like now you can laugh at, but at the time it was like,
Mm-hmm.
damn. It was like one of those reality hits you moments. So
Mm-hmm.
when I was playing football for Bowie State, we had a photographer
Mm.
and he would just take like photos of us like in action, just like record like just all types of stuff.
Yeah.
And and he's taking pictures of people. And like I said, at this time my hairline was bad. So like, and I had a bush.
Right.
So remember on All About the Benjamins, it was like when you salute, you gotta do yes, sir. Like it was like it was like that. Like my joint was
Uh-huh. Okay.
so my joint was like starting right here. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking towards him and he's just like, capturing stuff in the field. And my last name is Nixon. So, at Bowie, they called me Nixon. So he's just capturing stuff and I'm walking towards him. He's on the field. I just came out the locker room. I'm walking on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And he points the camera at me. And he goes, damn, Nixon. Because my joint was way back here. This was right before I shaved it. So it's nasty. Like the joint was way
Mm-hmm.
back here. And he just looks at it like, damn, Nixon.
Oh my gosh. How humbling. Okay.
So my scalp confession was that it's 10 times clearer with a 4K camera.
It is. Mhm.
Oh man, but that was good. That was good. I actually, appreciate him for doing and saying that. That
Yeah.
was good. Cause I even laughed. Like that was one of those like, even though I was a little self-conscious about it, I laughed with him about that one. Cause it was
Right.
like out of nowhere. Like it's like before practice it started, people like serious trying to lock in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like boom. Like, damn, Nixon. I was
Like,
like, all right, that's kind of
right.
funny. Yeah, you got it.
That's so crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would have been, my feelings would have been hurt. I would have been like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and again, it's different for women. I
I,
doubt that, like
mhm.
people would even go about it like that with a woman. But,
No, right.
it's
Yeah.
it's a man and it's football practice. So, football's like rah-rah. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Exactly. It's a different setting too, but
yeah.
that was a great scalp confession. And really, like, I think also not being able to really hide it, right? Like, you didn't wear wigs, like, you were outside and had
I
to.
I used to wear a headband that would cover up the hairline. So I
Mhm.
used to wear a headband. So it would just be a headband and bush, like the guy that played for the Boston Celtics, light skinned dude. I forgot his name. It would just be headband and hair. So I used to always wear a headband,
Mhm.
but that time I didn't,
Yeah.
have it on. I was just raw dogging it. And
Mm.
he caught it like he saw it through the camera lens as well. So it zoomed in and it
Mm.
was just like boom. It was like, damn, Nixon, what you got going on, man? So
Wow. I don't. Mm-hmm. No comment for that.
good
Yeah,
time.
that was a great scalp confession, I think.
Thank you.
And then before we end, your hot take for Baldy culture. Actually, I have like three more questions, so that's not the end. But your hot
Okay.
take for Baldy culture as a whole.
My hot take is some of these, speaking for men, some of these turkey trip jobs look a mess. If you are going to do it, you're going to have to spend top notch money. But if you do it and you see they have hair, but then all this is thin ass hair that you can tell was forced, it just looks bad. Like,
Mhm.
I think if you're gonna really try to do the hair transplant thing, make it look good.
Yeah.
Spend money, but
Mm.
stop getting these cheap ass Tory Lane ass jobs done. Because if you ask me, it looks worse than as opposed to you just letting it go. I get it. Everyone don't want to let it go. Cool, whatever. If you got like, I have no problem with people going to Turkey,
Mm.
but make sure it looks good. Some of these joints look nasty, nasty.
I
And as
can't.
a man, if you're gonna do the wig thing, where you glue the wig down, I'm not crazy about that. I mean, I'm cool with the transplant because I mean, at least like if it gets wet, if you pull it, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
with the wig thing, you be seeing stuff where it falls off. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you're going for quality. If that's the route you want to go down. My hot take
Mm-hmm.
is go for quality because some of these joints look a hot mess and they look worse than if you were to just let it go. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
going for it, if you're going to Turkey, if you're doing the plugs, make sure it's quality. Like Deion Sanders, his is quality.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like some people have quality. Brad Pitt, his is quality. Tiger, his is quality. Like it's some
Yeah.
quality stuff. But you got to spend money. You got to
Right.
invest into it.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you're gonna look worse. That's like, you know what I'm saying, these women with BBLs getting crazy BBLs from the tire shop down the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not crazy. I don't advocate them,
Mm-hmm.
BBLs, but if whatever, it's a woman, that's her body, her
Right.
decision. But if that's the route that she wants to go down, spend some
Spend money.
make sure it's quality because some of these BBLs and turkey jobs look a mess.
They do.
Make
Yeah.
sure it's quality. That's
I
my hot take.
Great hot take, and I'ma just second that on the women's side. Please invest in a good wig if you are
Mm, there we
getting a
go.
wig. Like
Yeah.
it takes money and it takes time. Again, that's what I was saying earlier. Wigs are expensive. You don't need confidence to wear a bald head. It comes with time for sure. So
Yeah.
rock it if you can. Mm-hmm. Yes, please. And do your research for real.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was great. Great job. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
um so when you look at where you are now versus where you started, what is one word you would use to describe yourself today?
Progression. I would say progression. Just never I hate being stagnant. I hate
Mm.
feeling stagnant. Like I just always try to progress, like always try to do better. Like I don't one thing I need to work on that I don't as much is taking time to just reflect how far I've come with certain
Mm.
areas in my life. But that's because I'm just always trying to move forward, you know.
Yeah.
But when I do sit down, it usually comes from other people. When other people like remind me of, yo, you came from this. Like my mom the other day, she sent me a text of when I got arrested, um, and charged as an adult when I was 16
Mm.
for something I didn't do, you
Wow.
know, and I actually like that actually like really like, impacted
Right.
my life because it was like some heavy charges.
Mm.
But she was just like, because I would tell her I was feeling a little stagnant, and then I went camping with my family, and that kind of helped me bring some life to me. But she said
Mm.
that to me. It was like, like you're blessed. Like look how far you come. Like you're blessed. I was like, yeah. And then I like even when I just moved to Charlotte 4 years ago, I think it's been just like from that first day and moment, like when I first moved out here to now, like the things that I've
Mm-hmm.
accomplished in a city that I don't know anybody in. Like I first came out here with no resources. I just kind of just got dropped off, and the thing that I've been able to accomplish, everything has been progressive.
Mm.
Uh, so progression. That's something that I try to live by, just always like getting better. Like I don't know when that will stop.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when I don't know when I retire, but even when I retire, I'll probably still be in that state of
Yeah.
mind. So progression, just always trying to do better than I did yesterday, last
Mm-hmm.
week, last month, last year. That's something that, I
Yeah,
really take pride in.
for sure. Yeah. And I know we talked a little bit a while ago, but I do know you were always on the move, always doing something and don't really sleep.
Yeah.
But
I'm getting better. I'm
also,
getting better with that.
hmm
Getting better
I
with that.
hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I'm getting better with that.
also, always elevating, evolving, and
Yep.
seeing, growing with time. And I know your move to North Carolina has been, I mean, your podcast, Day by Day, it's been what, 5 years?
Yeah. I've had it for like about 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm actually, and that kind of goes into it because like I'm keeping the Day by Day podcast, but I'm rebranding and shifting a lot of my energy and focus towards sports media.
Mm-hmm.
I just lately, because for the past few years, I'm like trying to find my niche,
Yeah.
and as of lately, it's really hit me that that's where I need to be. Like I have a
Mm.
passion for it. I can speak about it all day, but the podcast had to happen as well.
Yeah.
Like it all works. The podcast like that developed my interviewing and communicative skills, and
Mm-hmm.
now okay, that sports media is the thing you want to do. Now combine them two.
Mm-hmm.
I will not I may not be able to be as creative and as good as far as speaking points and interviewing styles if I never did the Day by Day podcast. But
Yeah.
that goes into, like I said, like the progression,
Mm-hmm.
like it all like adds up, but it evolves like you said, but adds up and gets better
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Last question is, if you had a young man come to you about losing his hair, which seems like happens pretty often, what would you tell him?
The weight that will be lifted off of your shoulder once you just let it go will be tremendous for you. And you may not think that. You may think it'll be worse. You may think you'll feel worse. Naturally, we think like once we get rid of it, we'll feel worse. But I know the feeling of trying to hide it, trying to cover it up, trying to brush over the hairline to
Hmm.
make it look more down than it really is. That weight will be lifted off of your shoulders if you just let it go.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, that weight will be lifted. I know the weight. I know the weight. It's a heavy ass weight.
Mm-hmm.
I squat. I squat when I work out.
Mm-hmm.
And that weight and the squat weight has nothing on the weight that's on your shoulders when you're trying to, you know, um, hide, if you would. So if you want that weight to be lifted off of your shoulders, you may think it'll do the opposite. You may think you'll be more. No, I'm telling you, shave it, that weight will be lifted off of your shoulder.
Yeah.
And then the fun really begins.
Hmm.
And invest into your own clippers. You don't have to go. I go to the barbershop like once every 3-4 months.
Hmm.
Invest into your own clippers, and that'll save you a lot of money.
Yes, it will. Yes.
Yeah,
What do you go to the barber shop for? Your beard?
my beard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah, because
Well,
it can kind of get it can get a little out of control. Like it'll rise high, and
mm-hmm.
like I try to shave. Like I'll try to do it my own. It'll look decent when I do it on my own. But
Mm-hmm.
like if I have something coming up, like if I'm going somewhere or a trip, if
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on camera for something important, whatever it is, then
Mm-hmm.
I try to go like to try to get like the what's the word, like the foundation, if you would, and
Mm-hmm.
not like trace over it
And
by like using the shaver for the next few months. But once it gets like way out of hand where you can't tell where it starts, and I go and get touched
mm-hmm.
up.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that was a very powerful message, also,
yeah.
right? I love that. And that was a great way to end it. Thank you so, so
Thank
much
you.
for your time and for being on the Baldie Diaries. You're so appreciated. And best of luck with your rebrand. I think that that's amazing. And I know we talked about it a little while ago, but just getting more into sports. Of course, I've been stalking and seeing your YouTube videos, and
Yeah.
everything's looks great. So I'm really thankful and so happy to have you here. And hopefully you'll come
Thank
back.
you. I appreciate that, and thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you're in the early stage of your podcast journey, but something I told you when we spoke a couple weeks ago is how many people, are eager, do all the research, get all the equipment, and never do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, I was like, Angelique, now just do it,
Mm-hmm.
and you did it. You said I'm your fifth interviewee, and that's really dope. The
Yeah.
fact that you with something that is new, but that you're truly interested in, and you can tell You tell you do your homework. You ask great questions, great dialogue. So, the fact that you really are invested into something and you actually jumped off the porch and hit the ground running, that's something that a lot of people cannot do. And out of fear,
Yeah.
and for the fact that you did that and then your brand is dope, you're building a
Thank you.
platform for other men and women with hair loss and alopecia to speak on. This is very big, very dope, and I'm, honored that you allowed me to be a guest on it. Seriously.
Of course. And thank you so much. You've been such a big help. Like, honestly, I was like, really, it's been so great to have you as a resource as well. Just, yeah, being able to get doing it scared for real.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But also being able to ask questions and also, again, like just having you on the side too is just very helpful and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
Anytime,
So kind.
literally anytime.